Hunter x Hunter is undeniably one of the greatest anime of all time. And not only is it an anime that a lot of people ask me to cover, not only does Hunter x Hunter contain Hisoka, my third favorite character in anime, and surprisingly a character I could relate to on a spiritual level, aside from that whole, NSFW part to his character. That part not so much, but the fact that bungee gum is the attributes of both rubber and gum, it makes me go swing, if you know what I mean. So that said, a lot of people have also been asking me to continue my series that I used to do quite a while ago, where I would collab with other YouTubers and basically rank all these long shonen anime by arc. I did it with early Naruto, I did it with the first half of One Piece, and I did it with Black Clover, and I'm just curious if it's something you guys would like me to continue doing. It's this long format video where we break down each arc individually, talk about why we like or dislike it, give it a ranking from 1 to 10, argue about it, throw things at each other, flip tables, and come to a conclusion where no one is happy, but we each give a score so that the fan base can judge our worth based on the scores we give these shows. So I figured, hey, might as well see if you're interested in me continuing this series that kind of was dead for a while. I'll do the part 2 with Swag Kage for Naruto Shippuden and the part 2 of One Piece with Tekking if you're interested. But I figured it's a fun idea to do Hunter x Hunter because a friend of mine, Animac from Anime Uproar, just finished watching Hunter x Hunter for the first time, so we'll get his fresh thoughts and my facts. So Animac from Anime Uproar, Briggs from All Day Anime, and myself have a podcast that we do, that we upload shiz to our podcast channel, the Rant Cafe. Feel free to check it out. They are a lot of fun. We upload twice a week there. Link to the Rant Cafe in the description. Honestly, lots of fun. I'll link the Twitch where we stream them and record them live, as well as the YouTube. And I figured for this week, we'll have like this long 2-hour discussion about the different Hunter x Hunter arcs, being that he just watched them, and I'll cut it down, get my boy Axel to edit the schnizzle out of this, and turn it into like one of those high quality collabs ranking the different arcs and stuff. So that's what happened. The quality's high. The memes are great. My taste is impeccable. And I hope you're ready for ranking every arc of Hunter x Hunter.
Dun, 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 dun.
Yo, what is happening? People of Zawaldo, we gather you today on a glorious, magnanimous occasion, ranking every arc of Hunter x Hunter with the boys. If I would rank them myself, there's no possible way people would agree. Like giving 10 out of 10 to every arc, that's pathetic. How can someone do that? So with me I have Animac from Anime Uproar.
Hey man, thank you for introducing me.
No problem. This absolute mad lad just finished Hunter x Hunter for the first time, so like, this is like the Hunter x Hunter virgin ranking. It's pretty hype. He just finished it. He was on a stationary bike for the last 1.5 years straight watching this shiz, so he's ready.
Man, I can't wait for this discussion to start 45 minutes in after you do the whole narration for the first 40 minutes.
Bro, I love the narrator. He's a 10 out of 10 character, absolutely. And we also have the Chad himself, a Chad with a level of Chadliness that would make Hisoka hard. Okay? That is high Chad praise. We have Briggs from All Day Anime.
What up, boys? Always good to be here.
I should stop saying Briggs from All Day Anime. I have to start saying Briggs from Beastly Briggs.
Briggs from Beastly Briggs, let's go.
Alright. Anywho, the first arc in Hunter x Hunter, because this is how we're doing it. We're going to talk about the arc a little, what we like, what we don't like, rank it out of 10, and move on. The Hunter Exam Arc, the first 26 episodes of the anime. Animac, being that you are the Hunter x Hunter virgin, take it away.
Yeah, so I really did not love this arc at all. And that's probably why I didn't get into Hunter x Hunter right away. It just didn't interest me that much.
Honestly, I completely disagree. Surprisingly so, obvious, of course. It's funny because a lot of people say like you need to watch like the first 3 arcs or whatever, and then you'll get into Hunter x Hunter. It's okay, but it's not amazing off the bat. The Hunter Exam's one of my favorite arcs. I'd say it's top 3 for me.
I don't know.
Okay. All right, Briggs. All right, I was with you until you made that statement. Not gonna lie.
Well, I have 2 other above it, and then I like it better than everything else.
Well, I understood what top 3 means, Briggs. Don't explain that.
Yeah, but all right, we'll get into the debate later. Let's continue.
One of the reasons why I'm so excited about Animac being a part of this discussion is the fact that he thinks Hunter x Hunter's a 4 out of 10 anime, which was very disappointing when he told me. So I thought we would have to, talk about it a little bit,
Okay.
Get the facts straight.
Anyway,
Animac, it at least has animation, bro.
Do you want me to reveal what I really rank it now, or should we wait till the end?
I think
I know you really rank it a -4 to 10, but come on, it's no Tower of God.
This man literally just said yesterday it's a 3 out of 10. Anyway, Hunter Exam Arc. I don't think I love it as much as Briggs, but I definitely don't dislike it as much as Anime. It definitely held my attention the whole time and got me interested in the world. I mean, it started with a tournament arc. That's like big brain, right?
Yeah, maybe I'm just not a huge fan of tournament arcs, but I was not that into it. I guess the big thing with me is that I didn't understand the motivation for becoming a hunter. It wasn't that big a deal to me, so I didn't really understand why so many people were so into it.
Well,
And then you meet all these characters at once, right? You meet so many characters at once, and it's all brand new that I didn't necessarily care about too many of them off the bat. But later on, I definitely did. For example, like Kurapika, I didn't care about him much at all at first. But then when we get to Yorknew, I'm like, bro, Kurapika's a fucking badass. I love this guy.
So I loved Kurapika literally the entire show. He was my favorite character in the first arc, I think, until Hisoka really started picking up steam.
The Oreo was my favorite character in the first arc, and then he did nothing for the rest of the show. It's so sad.
No, he comes back in the election arc.
Yeah, he has a great scene in the election arc, actually. But, like...
Yeah, but, like, why doesn't he ever get to fight? That does suck.
Because he wants to be a doctor. This is what I'm surprised about. Bro, you're a man with a PhD in political philosophy, okay? You don't understand that a whole bunch of people want to become a hunter, which comes along with money? It comes with a buttload of money.
You're pretty much set for life. If you become a hunter, you're set for life.
Literally.
And in order to become a hunter, you have to be super, super strong and smart, so everyone tries to achieve this.
From what I recall, we don't learn much about being a hunter until later on in the series.
Being a hunter just opens a ton of doors for you, and you get to choose what you want to end up doing. Like, you have treasure hunters, you have food hunters, you have, hunter hunters.
Treasure hunters?
That's
So
the
pirates?
point.
That's amazing.
People that hunt hunters. Like, it's just a device that opens the doors for you to basically give you a pass at trying whatever you want. It gives you clout, it gives you money.
In this world, a lot of the prestigious jobs that, like, say we even have in our world, like, if there's a hunter that could do it, the hunter's going to get the job over someone else. Like an assassination job. Who would you rather have do your job? Is normal Joe or someone with a hunter's license who you know is going to be a badass?
I would like Killwa's dad and grandpa, please.
There we go.
And that will make you pay handsomely.
But, okay, so I would give this arc like a 7 out of 10. Like, I'm not saying it was terrible, but it just wasn't something that really got me thinking, yo, this show is going to be amazing.
Honestly, so it's not as fresh in my mind as it is for Animac. I probably watched this, like, at least 6 years ago, maybe more, and I haven't rewatched it since.
Hold on, you just said it didn't hold your attention, and it wasn't great, and you weren't excited to continue, and you're giving it a 7 out of 10? Are you just pressured into giving it such a high score?
Well, no, this is the thing. When I say it's a 7 out of 10... What I mean is, it didn't get me, like, saying this is going to be an amazing show. It's a decent... I was, like, thinking, oh, okay, this is a decent show. But I wasn't thinking it was as good as people made it out to be. So I don't think it's terrible by any means. I just think there are some people in my life who tend to overrate shit constantly.
Yeah, Briggs.
Yeah, Briggs.
Bruh. Tower of God's a 10 out of 10 series.
It's like a son to me.
It's like a son to me. I've been a fan since day one. So
Okay,
I'm re-looking through all the arcs and trying to get my, like, bearings on my rankings. Maybe top 3 was a bit of an over-exaggeration, but I'm going to give it a 7.8 out of 10.
So not even that much higher than me, Briggs.
Well, I don't understand. When I love something, it's a 7.8.
You shouldn't
when you
give it
hate
a 7 out
something or
of 10.
dislike
You're
something.
just a coward, man. You're too scared to give it a lower ranking, bro. We all know the truth.
No,
Coward.
I'm serious. I think...
7 is a high rank. 5 is
7's
average. You think if you'd say 5, it couldn't hold my attention, I'd hear you. But if it can't hold your attention, it's not a 7 out of 10.
No, I do think it's a 7 out of 10. But I'm saying, the problem is here, Nux. So the problem is, I'm going into Hunter x Hunter with you and other people saying it's one of the greatest series in anime, like top 5.
It's not in my top 10. So
and I'm having these huge expectations, and I'm thinking, oh, I'm looking to see like a 10 out of 10 arc, and then I see a 7 out of 10 arc, and then I'm disappointed. So that is why you should probably stop overhyping shit for people.
I love how you
think it's a good arc. It wasn't, like, disappointing.
To blame me, anime. Right. You always gotta try and pin it on Nux. This is so sad.
Yeah, it's true, Nux. You're a bad person.
All right, so I'm just gonna say 10 out of 10 then. So everyone will view me as the pinnacle of taste. I don't worry. I can do no wrong.
Of course,
Everything's a 10 out of 10.
Of course.
No
10
worries.
do you not see the problem? Do you not see?
No, it is perfect in every way. It has Hisoka. Hisoka has boners. I am a happy man.
I hate you so much.
Oh my god. See, he's proving my point though. So I guess.
No, I'm not. I am proving exactly the opposite of what you're trying to say. Don't be scared to give
Honestly,
it a low ranking.
I'm doing this podcast with two cowards. No one wants to give their official score. Animax disappointed, gives it a 7. Nuxie Boy is giving it a 10 out of 10. Even
I'm
though
not giving it a
obviously
10 out of 10. Are you insane? 10 out of 10.
I thought you were just gonna meme through this entire video, and I was already ready to.
I'll say this.
I don't know. I'm gonna give it genuine rankings.
All right. So what are you thinking here?
Honestly, I was gonna just rank them with whole numbers, but you said 7.8.
Bro, my ratings are to a science, pinpoint accuracy. There's a big difference between a 7.75 and a 7.8, my dude.
All right.
Come
well,
on.
I'm not gonna question you, Briggs. All right. So let me just quickly look at all the other arcs to see what I would rank.
Yeah,
them.
that's what I had to do.
All right. So I'm just gonna rate them with whole numbers because that's how I was gonna do it, and I'm gonna say it's an 8 out of 10 for me. I thought the Hunter exam was really good. It had a lot of really epic moments.
Yeah, I mean,
I like how it set up this entire world and the adventure. Like how the exam started before they even reached the place. You know, like part of that meme.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but see, it's good. It's good to an extent, and there are good moments. But overall, the pacing wasn't the best, and I didn't care about every single moment as much as I'd like. I liked how afterwards you learned that Hunter exam wasn't even the real exam in many ways. So I thought that was cool, but that also kind of just made that whole arc less significant in my mind.
I feel like they did the build-up of that exam so well.
Yeah, big facts.
They weeded out all the people that like really weren't meant to be hunters like pretty quickly, and slowly like every task had just said so much more. I don't know how to word this, but they had the build. Like you said that you didn't like the pacing. I thought the pacing of Hunter exam was perfect.
Oh yeah, I'm with you. I really like the pacing. But one thing that about the Hunter exam that I think you may, I don't know, in recollection, not understand. No one understands Hunter x Hunter. SMH, my head. But in the end of the day, it's a build-up arc. Like a lot of people view these crazy tournaments with the big goals at the end as like kind of it's like if you look at a tournament arc in My Hero Academia, right? So that tournament arc is kind of an end goal. Winning the tournament was this big finale. It's not like it was necessarily a build up to something else. This arc is purely a build up of characters, of relationships, of what being a hunter means in the overall overarching world. The crazy, he uses a fishing rod in a fight, bro. It's like it's mostly build up. And that's why I like it, because you get to see all these really wacky hunters. You get to see how being a hunter isn't like being a hero per se. You don't need to be a morally just dude. You got Hisoka, who literally killed an exam administrator who challenged him in middle. Like, he threw those blades at him and he caught them and threw them back. When I saw that, I was like, bruh, this isn't some moral compass. This is some crazy organization that isn't necessarily entwined with the government, that they're not necessarily supposed to be regarded as good guys. And I thought, all in all, I liked it. I would give it an 8 out of 10, especially looking at the high point.
Nothing you're saying proves that arc is any better. You're just giving it your own.
If it's a good build up, then that means it's a good arc.
Yeah, I don't really have any complaints other than the cooking part. I thought it was
you're
a little
taking
bit
the arc on its own merits. That's what happens when you have to rank arcs.
Yeah, I'm ranking this arc by its own merit as a build up arc. What are you saying? I don't understand.
I don't understand what you're saying. A build up arc to me, the way you're portraying it, seems to be like, well, this arc is just a lead-in into more important arcs.
All right, Animac, what would you rank the first episode of Attack on Titan?
Just the first episode.
Just the first episode.
Probably a 9 or 9.5.
I'd say it's a 10 out of 10 episode. Why is it so good? This Eren's mother dies, bro. This is so sad. That's the whole story. Oh God. No, because it builds up the story.
Yeah, but there's a difference between
episode.
26 episodes is like the whole freaking seasons of one of Attack on Titan. You can't compare one episode, which is a build-up, sure, to the world, to 26 whole episodes.
I'm saying that you could look at a build-up as inherently good. It doesn't need to be standalone series by its own merit. Bruh, It's all good. You give it a 7 out of 10. Briggs gives it a 7.8, like a Chad. I say 8. Very good. I'm glad we're having a good time. We apparently just... This is why you don't like ranking anime. You just... I don't know. Your IQ is dumb high.
I mean, it's...
All right, that's enough, boys. That's enough. Heaven's Arena. Heaven's Arena.
No!
Let's go.
Don't skip the Zoldyck arc.
Yeah, we have to do
Zoldyck
the Zoldyck
arc.
arc.
Dude, what even happened in that arc? I don't remember it.
Well, you
They
meet
got there. There was a
family.
big door. He punched it open. We got Killua's
No,
tragic
didn't the
backstory.
Yorio have to push a door? I remember pushing of a door.
Gone. And yeah.
Okay.
And basically, there was the butler guy. He threw coins around. You know, he made them try to guess where the coins were. Goto.
Oh,
or
that
whatever.
arc. That arc kind of sucked.
Yeah, I'd give it a 7 out of 10. Honestly, I thought it didn't suck. I don't think any arc sucked in Hunter x Hunter, but yeah, I think it's the weakest arc in the whole story. There was also, I liked it though, because we got to see Killua, like he was chained up. We got to see his weird backstory with his family. His brothers were all nutcases in their own way. Right after playing off Illumi's crazy move in the finale of the Hunter exam arc, which I thought was amazing, when he got Killua to go crazy. And now you really see the crazy dynamics of Killua's insane family. Maybe
Yeah.
I just like crazy people. I don't
You
know.
do like crazy people. You can relate
do
to them.
like
I know. I'm aware. I think this is my least favorite arc out of all of them.
Yeah, big facts.
I'm
Yeah,
going to give
I
it
think
a 6.2 out of 10.
Officially, this is not an arc. This is considered officially part of the Hunter exam, but we are separating it because people tend to separate it because it's a completely different setting and all that type of stuff.
Is it
Spoken like a man with a PhD in political.
is it
to
is it
clarify.
filler? Is it just not in the manga?
No, it is. It's just, it's not separated like on the wiki or whatever because people shove it into the Hunter exam arc.
Yeah, because
Or
it's
its
only
own.
like 5 episodes. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, so I think there is intriguing things about the Zoldyck family that we learn. I think Hisoka would probably give this like a 10 out of 10.
He's like, bro, are they abusing children? 10 out of 10. Stand approval.
I would give it like a 6. But I'm just
All right.
wanted to clarify in case we get people complaining. Bro, that's not its own arc.
People don't mind. Get out of here. Besides, people complaining just means you annoyed them, which means you had success in what you were trying to accomplish. Or maybe that's just me.
No,
I
that is
don't know.
you, but that is a cool philosophy to have.
It's a philosophy I adorn. I wear it on my back. Anyway, next arc, Heaven's Arena, 12 episodes. Animac, you're the virgin.
Yeah, so this is when I really started getting into Hunter x Hunter. It wasn't yet at this point that I thought it was amazing, but when we got to the end of this arc and the fight with Hisoka, that is when I was like, I see the potential in this. I really loved Hisoka's Nen. I really liked his showdown with Gon. I liked how he seems to be just messing with everyone and playing with everyone because he's so strong, and he's, everything he's doing is just a big troll, but it has some kind of nefarious purpose. So this is when I started getting into it in the 30s, the episodes, the 30s, like 5, something like that, which I felt was too long for a, greatest anime of all time contender to be taking me to really be getting into it.
All right, quick question here. Is this when Gon learns Nen from his
Yes.
teacher the first
Yes.
time?
So I think in this arc, my favorite moment in this arc is a moment that literally no one likes. I've spoken to people and they're like, "Oh, I like this because of Hisoka versus Castro. Oh, I like this because of Stitchy Nen."
Can I guess your
Fingerly."
moment, Lux?
Yeah, please.
Is it when Hisoka stops Gon from going up to the higher stages?
Bro, how did you? What the fuck?
That's my favorite moment in the entire arc.
I'm
Yeah, that
freaking
was
out
good,
right
yeah.
now. That was by far my favorite moment in this entire.
Like, it was such an
Is it-
intimidating presence, but more than that, Hisoka is raising Gon up for slaughter, and he knows Gon's not ready for it yet. So he's cultivating him, letting him train, letting him get better, and not letting him go too far ahead of where he is currently. And then, when the time comes, he's gonna take him out himself, or fight him himself, because all Hisoka cares about is having, fun fights and entertain,
Nuts and bread.
dude!
Bro, I
I
love
love
that
that
scene
part.
so much. So goddamn much. Not to mention, the fights were great too. And to quote Hisoka, Gone.
Yeah, was this the swing?
This was the swing fight.
The swing, yeah.
Swing fight. Bro, this arc's great. It's an 8.5 for me.
Sorry, I'm
Yeah.
tallying up all my points here. As you know, my rating scale is very exact. And I must say, even though I feel like there's some better moments in the Hunter exam, and I do probably like the Hunter exam more, because Heaven's Arena is much shorter, I feel like I have no issues with any of it. And I thought it was almost like a near perfect arc. I might have to rate it higher than the Hunter exam. I'm going to give it an 8.2 out of 10.
I love you, Briggs.
I got you.
God damn, you legend. Okay. All right, Animac.
Yeah, so I did enjoy it. I wasn't super huge fan of like the lead up to the Hisoka fight, just because there were some of these other opponents that we looked at that I didn't really give a shit about.
Bro, you don't like electric wheelchair guy? Get out of here.
The dreidel dude.
Dreidel guy. Absolute legend. He fought with Beyblades.
Yeah, so if some of those episodes were a bit faster,
He only had one foot, bro.
But I'll give it a 7.5.
All right, what's up next? Phantom Troupe?
Chad it up.
Chat it up, boys.
All right, anyway, next arc, we have the Phantom Troupe. I think it's called the Yorknew Arc. I'm surprised
it's Yorknew. It's Yorknew.
The Yorknew Arc. 20 episodes of absolute greatness.
Overrated.
What? Oh, shut your mouth, bro.
Bro,
this was
like
Cinemac, I have respect for you all of a sudden. I was about to unfriend you and unfollow you on Twitter, but you just made it back for me with that one simple sentence.
This was the best arc in the entire thing, especially because, unlike some other arcs, the pacing in this one is amazing. You get so much character development. We mostly focus, in most cases, on Kurapika, who at that point was gone for a while. And you're like, who cares about this dude?
No, Kurapika wasn't gone. Gone was gone. Kurapika was away.
Gone, okay. Yes. So Kurapika, we didn't hear from him since like the exams, if I recall correctly. And then all of a sudden he's introduced again. I'm like, do I really care about this dude? You know, we've just been following Gon and Killua. But no, then he comes with his whole backstory, with his mission, the way he does the whole Nen contract thing, the way he beats the dude. What was his name?
Oh, Uvogin, bro.
Yeah, the way he beats Uvogin.
Dude, he brought a shovel to that fight. Biggest flex in anime. He brought a shovel because he knew he was burying a body.
And then the whole hunt for Kurapika and Gon and Killua helping him. Oh, it was great. I guess.
All right. And we also had the Phantom Troupe. The Phantom Troupe is one of the most fascinating organizations in anime. And we also had Hisoka with his crazy texture surprises. We got the Zoldyck showing up. We got so much in that arc. Before you give it a rank, you know what? You give it a ranking first. I don't want to taint your mind with what I'm going to say.
Yeah, for real. So the reason why I said overrated, it's an amazing arc. But people give it a 10 out of 10.
Oh, I'd give it a 10 out of 10.
See, that's what I'm talking about. It's an amazing arc. But bro, the first like 8 or 9 episodes were honestly, in my opinion, it just ends perfectly.
Bro, what do you mean,
bro?
Maybe you guys could like help my memory out here. But I remember like the first like 7 episodes, wasn't it like Killua and Gon in the streets doing arm wrestles and bullshit going on?
No, that was like one episode. Most of it was about Kurapika. He joined these bodyguards.
Oh yeah, no, I remember that. No, but still, I just remember like the first.
There were also some like really fire moments, like for example, when Kurapika used Emperor Time, which is a freaking cool move, where he became a Nen specialist while he had it, and he lowered his lifespan and all that. And he put a chain around the heart of Crollo and captured Crollo. And then he called up that one guy with the twisty power, like he twists people's heads off and stuff. And he basically said to that guy was like, "We have your friends here, but they're already dead." And he's like, "Okay, click." He hangs up the phone on him and he calls back, "Okay, your friends are fine, please." I'm like, it was such a good arc. There were so many amazing moments in that arc. The plot was fascinating. And my favorite moment in all of Hunter x Hunter, this is my like third favorite episode in all of anime, is episode 51, where when Uvogin dies and there's a requiem of the spider.
That's amazing.
And he stands on that rooftop with his hands outstretched as the Phantom Troupe wreaks havoc on Yorknew. They take down the entire mafia. They enter and invade those crazy auction houses. That requiem that's my third favorite episode in all of anime. I would wholeheartedly give the Phantom Troupe arc a 10 out of 10.
So this is what I was talking about when I was talking about overrating. I have actually a very high rating for it. I thought it was a high rating. And let me just type this in, really like figure out my algorithm here. I'm going to give it a 8.69 out of 10.
You're crazy.
Which is very above average. Fantastic arc. I thought it like just from my memory, it's been a long time, but I remember everyone like hyping it up, and when I watched it and like when I heard about it afterwards, people were giving it like tens and saying it was amazing. And I remember like when I was watching it, like 6 episodes in or however many episodes in, I'm like, this arc kind of sucks. Like, why is it being hyped up so much? And then the last 10 or so were fucking beautiful, amazing.
Nux and Mac.
Like, to me, this is like minimum 9 out of 10, maybe even a 9.5. I'm leaning towards 9.5, to be honest.
Bro,
the
only
only
reason
reason
I would be
give it a
disappointed
rewatch,
if you
but I
only
don't
give
get
it a 9 out of 10.
The only reason I wouldn't give it a 10 is because, like, I would have liked more philosophy, but that would have made it.
The thing about Hunter x Hunter that I think is very interesting is, like, I generally like deeper philosophical conversations in stories, but I think Hunter x Hunter really excels with a deeper psychological aspect to stories. Like, even if you look at the arcs, like, anyway.
I'm gonna get hate in the comments for giving an arc an 8.6.
Bro, if anyone hates you on an opinion, then
I don't care. It's just funny. It's just funny how much people love this arc. That it's like, how can you give it a 10, man? It's crazy.
10 out of 10.
Dude, the thing with this arc is it's like
God,
it's a completely different anime from like the Hunter exam. Like, this arc is to me so much better than the Hunter exam.
What I was saying is, if you look
at I gave it a solid, like, close to a whole point more.
If you look at the arc so far, you had the Hunter exam, which is a lighthearted arc. Then you had the what's it called? The freaking Zoldyck Family Arc, which is a dark arc. Then you have the Heaven's Arena, which is more or less, it's a lighthearted arc. It's not as bright as the Hunter exam. You got your naive ideals. There is more darkness. People die. And then you have the Phantom Troupe arc, which is so dark. And then Green Island picks it up. Chimera Ant Arc brings it so down. Election brings it back up. Like, the way the flow of the Hunter x Hunter arcs go is brilliant. And it's on a psychological level more than a philosophical level per se.
Yeah, I agree, but it's still great. You know, I would say Chimera Ant Arc, when we get to it, it has more philosophical aspects.
Oh, yeah.
But then this arc has many strengths that Chimera Ant Arc
I think that there's a lot of interesting philosophical questions in regard to Crollo's character. Like, it wasn't explored all that much in this arc, but he's a man who he doesn't know what he wants. He doesn't know who he is. He has this crazy identity crisis almost. This sociopathy where, like, he cries without his expression changing. Like, almost like he feels sad, sort of, whatever that means. He's such an interesting character. He's such a fascinating villain.
To be honest, man, I was waiting for the rest of the anime. I kept waiting to see what happened to Crollo.
Well, he shows up in the manga again.
Yeah, so I have to read the manga because I was like, yo, what happened to Crollo? We did get to see some of the Phantom Troupe during the Chimera Ant arc, and that was cool. That was a cool part of the arc that I appreciated. But I'm so curious about Crollo. And also, this arc made me appreciate Hisoka more because he is that crazy. You see how strong and insane these people are, and Hisoka is that crazy to infiltrate them and mess with them.
And it's not just is he crazy, but he is freaking smart. He is witty. He's genius. He thinks on the fly. When he got that weird prediction, which was going to show that he betrays them, and he quickly used a textured surprise to make it look like someone dies. Like, oh my god, bro.
Yes, that part was like Death Note.
Hisoka felt like a Death Note player, and he was never the main focus of the arc. He manipulated Kurapika in order to get into the position that he could fight Crollo. He had everything on his marionette bungee gum strings, which, by the way, have the properties of rubber and freaking gum. 10 out of 10 arc, Briggs. Anyway, moving on.
9.5 for me, but yeah, absolutely amazing arc. We didn't even mention that they had the worm from Hunter x Hunter.
Bro, the handsomest anime character.
No, but seriously, it was funny how the mafia brought in these like super overpowered, like, what would it call them, the 10 something?
Yeah, the shadow beasts.
Yes, and they were like, oh, we're gonna mob the floor with these Phantom Troupe guys, and then they just absolutely ravaged them.
Dude, even that fight with Uvogin, he's frozen from the neck down, and he still beats all of them. Like, he takes a bite out of one guy's head, spits the bone like a bullet into the other guy, and then basically destroys the other guy's brain by just shouting in his ear. Like, that fight is like, God, they're on a different level.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
so
And you had this crazy thing. They hired Illumi. Hisoka hired Illumi to take down Mafia headquarters.
Yeah, and the cool thing also was they build up all the Phantom Troupe, including Uvogin, as these amazingly strong, overpowered fighters, and yet they managed to explain in a believable way how Kurapika was able to defeat him.
With the power of the power system.
Yeah.
And that's why Nen is so cool.
I know. If anything, I love Nen, and if anything, I want to see more about Nen. But we can talk about that later.
And it also opens up the future. Like, there is so much amazing buildup to come from this arc too. I don't know, man. Nen is crazy. The Phantom Troupe is amazing. Hisoka is fantastic. Just the future of what will happen with Kurapika is great. Like, I think Kurapika's story arc altogether, I mean, shame it ripped off Sasuke, but like, that people are going to be like, bro, did you know that Hunter x Hunter was first? Yeah, I know. Sasuke ripped off Kurapika. It was very sad.
I do appreciate, though, the power system. It's one of the best out there, along with like Stans and Kinks.
Big facts. Yeah, okay, so I gave it a 10 out of 10. You gave it a 9.5, and Brigo gave it a 8.69.
No, I think he said 4 out of 10.
Never in my life. My rating system
can't
is
believe. No, what are you saying? Briggs gave it an 8.69. I'm just disappointed that Animac thought that this was only a 3 out of 10.
No, I can't believe he gave it a negative 4 out of 10. Like, Yorknew's so good, bro.
Bro, the fact that Animac gave this a minus 420 out of 10. Greed Island, boys. Briggs, take it away. You said it's a great arc.
I mean, it's been a long time, so I can't, like, I don't know if it's anyone's noticed, but I haven't been contributing as much to the conversations. I remember liking it, maybe a little bit less than Phantom Troupe. It was just so different. Honestly, it was One Piece. It was a One Piece tier arc. If that makes sense.
Yeah, it was really good because first we learn about Greed Island, the concept, the game, before Yorknew. So at the end of Heaven's Arena, and I was really intrigued by this. Like, what a game created with Nen, where you get transported there. Like, it was so interesting. And then we had Yorknew, and then Greed Island, obviously much more laid back and sort of lighthearted than Yorknew. But I loved how they take the already complex power system of Nen, and then they add cards to it, like these magical cards, like Yu-Gi-Oh! With Nen. And yet it was so great. The world was really cool. I give this at least an 8 out of 10 for sure.
So I really like this arc. I think it's one of the best isekai anime out there. I think that, of course, Hisoka carried it easily. The absolute legend, with the dodgeball match being probably the best fight and like top 3 fights in all of Hunter x Hunter.
I think Greed Island is actually underrated.
I agree
by a lot of people.
Yeah, to me,
I remember loving
Island
it.
is number 3 out of all the arcs.
I don't know. I'd probably give it an 8 or a 9, 8.5. I'd give it an 8.5.
I'm gonna give it an 8.35.
Perfect.
I got you.
Wait, hold on. Okay, all right. So that's 0.15 higher than Heaven's Arena for you, Bruce.
Yes.
I'm not writing it down, but you know, I'm trying.
I stand by that statement. It's gonna be so sad at the end when Hunter Hunter's exam's like the lowest ranked arc. I mean,
it starts off. Hunter exam. It's in my top 3. Meanwhile,
I fucking love that arc, but I kind of forgot how great Hunter x Hunter was. I guess.
Yeah, I guess.
I thought there was more smaller, like shittier arcs in between, but not really.
Well, Hunter x Hunter's awesome. What can I say? Anywho, Greed Island. I will forever have it etched in my mind, hearing people say "a company on," Nick, and then them teleporting away. That is definitely etched in there. I thought it was very epic. That they had this crazy stockpiling thing. They each stockpiled 1 million teleportation cards.
Yeah.
And it came down, like, there was so much waiting and dead time. It's like, imagine in a chess game, you're playing for position the entire game. No pieces were taken. You have this crazy formation on your side. Your opponent has a crazy formation on his side. And then all of a sudden, you move your pawn up 1 square, and you trade all your pieces until you literally have 2 rooks left. That's how that felt.
And this arc had Bisky and the whole training arc with Nen, which I also liked. Mm-hmm. We learned more about Jing and his clearly dad of the year attitude.
Big fact.
And yeah,
it was Razor.
Very interesting stuff. Maybe I'm even underrating it with 8 out of 10, but let's stick with that.
I liked it. I thought it was I thought it was a pretty freaking
Fine, I'll give it
great arc.
8.25, halfway between 8 and 8.5.
That's what I like to hear, Animac.
Anyway,
Accuracy.
Greed Island also did quite the job at. So one thing about Greed Island, though, getting through, not the best villain in the series. I think one thing Hunter x Hunter does really, really well is the bomb guy.
Yeah.
The bomber. I think the one, like I think he's okay, but compare it. The issue with Hunter x Hunter is every single arc has one of the best villains ever. Hisoka, Meruem, Crollo, and Pariston are probably 4 of my favorite antagonists ever. Like, all 4 of them are 10 out of 10 characters.
Well, is Pariston even an antagonist?
He's definitely an antagonist.
We'll talk about that later.
I think the one thing that made Greed Island not, like, because it didn't have an antagonist on the level of the other arcs, right?
Right, exactly.
That was the one thing that brought it down.
Yeah. Like, Razor isn't really an antagonist. He was an opponent at one point, like, but he wasn't an antagonist. He never felt threatening to their lives. Like, he only threatened their progression. He didn't threaten their existence. Anywho, I like the arc a lot, and the dodgeball match is top 3 fights in the entire Hunter x Hunter story. So that's pretty epic. Anywho, next arc is a small arc, shortest arc in the series, the Chimera Ant Arc.
Yes, shortest arc for sure.
Shortest arc.
And did you guys hear that Animac gave this like a 3 out of 10? Crazy.
Bro, when Animac gave it a 1.5 out of 10, I was bawling.
Bro, if you guys didn't know, my very accurate like rating system, it's actually from 0 to One Piece. And this is a One Piece tier arc. Honestly, man, I'm gonna give this such a high rating. It's one of my favorite shonen arcs of all time. And people criticize the pacing, and I will agree there are some moments that aren't the greatest. But this is as close to a perfect arc as you could get.
Yeah, so that's why it's not perfect, because of the pacing.
So I would say that I gave Phantom Troupe a 10 out of 10. It's gonna be hard for me to say this, but I would give Chimera Ant Arc an 11 out of 10. That's right.
You can't.
I am Animac.
You cannot give 11 out of 10.
It's my rules.
No,
I
it isn't.
control my own life.
You don't.
Period.
You don't defy the rules of mathematics.
I defy whatever rules I want. All rules are meant to be broken. Animac, don't be such a stickler and be a man. 11 out of 10, boys.
Okay, then justify this, you bitch.
All right, yeah, go. Give it whatever I want to give it 2 fairy tales and a fat tookies out of 10. Go for it.
I mean, it has my favorite fight in like all of anime in it, or like second favorite fight of all of anime, which definitely helps. It introduces Meruem, I think my #1 favorite villain in all of anime. The narrator, which Animac criticizes, but that arc where they go through every little thing that was going on and how everything changed everything around it and everything that happened was amazing. There was build-up of fight after fight.
I can just imagine Animac watching it. He's like 3 episodes into the palace invasion. 10 seconds have passed, and Animac's like, "What? No!" It just starts flipping over tables, scratching at his neck.
Yeah, no, it was honestly. So the beginning of the arc was great, like the whole introduction of the Chimera Ants and all that type of stuff, and I like that a lot of the parts leading up to the palace invasion. There were some moments where it dragged, like some certain villains that I didn't care about, like Cheetu and Leo and shit.
Cheetu and Leo were interesting characters in their own right, not as great as the others.
Yeah, so I do like a lot of aspects of this arc. I thought that some moments were truly great. The Netero and Meruem fight was very short, but it was absolutely epic. But yeah, the pacing, man, like some of the episodes during the invasion, it's not even that just the narrator is annoying, because the narrator isn't like annoying per se. I do like seeing all the little details about the operation, but they recap for like the first 5 minutes of the show is recapping what happened in the previous episode, and then you have 10 minutes of content, and then you have the whole preview for the next episode and the outro. So that's what irked me. Now, I didn't read the manga. Maybe in the manga the pacing is much better. Like with One Piece, I'm reading the manga.
No, I like the pacing in the anime. I thought it was good, actually. And it's whatever. Animac's going to give it like whatever score he decides to give it at the end of the day. And it hurts me because privately he told me it was a 3.14159265 out of 10. And
it's pi, yeah.
Pi out of 10. Pi out of 10. But I don't know. Like, if Me saying 11 out of 10 clearly bothers Animac to his soul. So to give it a genuine rating, I guess I'd say 10 out of 10. But I think that 10 out of 10 underrates the arc, to be honest.
I would give it an 8.5.
Oh, that's sad.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it has moments of greatness, but it drags at times, and I can't give an arc perfection if it drags at times.
Perfection! I was going to give the whole Bleach speech.
I will agree. There were some periods that I felt like it was dragging out, and this is the one arc out of all of Hunter x Hunter that I've watched more than once.
Yeah, and the problem is, so
I think there was so much good stuff, though. Dude, first of all, side characters killed it too. Like, the best moments are obviously not the side characters, but Reina going back to her mother after that whole arc and her mother recognizing her.
Yes.
That moment, freaking, my heart cracked, bro.
To me, that was even more emotional than Meruem's whole finale. But I do have to say that at times when you're during the infiltration arc, when you're expecting them to go and have this big battle and stuff like that, they'll go to like Bravada and Welfin for like 2 episodes, and you're like, bro,
that was so interesting.
I don't care about Bravada and Welfin. At the end, Bravada.
We had a whole episode about Gyro. Do you remember Gyro?
No.
The whole episode about that dude and his whole backstory, and like, it's like,
Who
bro,
was Gyro?
Gyro was the dude, the owner of that, whatever it's called, that park. That Freedom Park or whatever it's called.
Oh, okay, NGL, right?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, so we got that, but like, I didn't care about that, man. I didn't care. And
what? What are you saying?
I didn't, because I felt it was taking away from the stuff that I was really focused on. Like, I'm focused on, what's going on? They're fighting the Royal Guards, Meruem, what's going on? And they're like, oh, well, now let's take this detour. Let's take that detour. And in the end, I really like how Bravada ended up being part of that whole emotional moment with Reina. But until that moment, Bravada to me was like the most pointless character. It's like, I don't care.
The whole point though was that everything that was going on was connected, so they had to go on detours to see how this world of an arc was like moving.
So I'm not a huge fan of Bravada either. I don't think he's one of the best characters in the story. But like, look, what's his name? Shia. I think he's a 10 out of 10 villain as well. He was the writing that went into that man.
He's the biggest simp I've ever seen in my life.
What a legend!
Oh my god, what a simp! Like that guy is a yandere simp. Like he's simped so hard that
it's not about simping, man. You don't get it. You don't. No one understands. You don't understand, dude.
Please explain to me, Shia, the biggest simp in the history of anime.
When Meruem was born, and Meruem was standing before his 3 royal guards, and Meruem said, "What is my name?" All 3 of them gave a different answer to him. Do you remember this, Animac?
Yes.
Well, do you remember what they said?
That I do not.
So Pito said to Meruem, "You're the king, so you should be able to choose whatever name you want." Yuppie said, "Bro, you are the king. I think that I don't have the right to tell you what name to pick." And then Shia said, "You are the king. You are above things like names. You don't have a name because you are above everything else." That is literally the introduction, how the king meets the 3 of them. And
yes,
that fully encapsulates their entire personalities. There is Shia visualizes what Meruem is. He has this perfect silhouette of Meruem against his mind the entire time as the ideal perfect king. So anytime Meruem does anything to stray from Shia vision of what the king should be, it destroys him. And he has those crazy violin orgasms freaking out about it.
Yeah, and I hate Poof. I think he's terrible because
he's brilliant.
He's the biggest hypocrite. He pretends as if, like you said, like Meruem is this great king, but in reality, he takes it upon himself to control what Meruem does and thinks.
Yes, it's a flaw in his character. Flawed characters are good characters, anime.
So he thinks himself to be superior secretly to Meruem himself, and he's a massive simp, and I just don't like him. I'm not saying he's a bad character, but I'm saying
he's a 10 out of 10 character. You don't have to like him. I think he's brilliant. He's
He annoyed me many
I
times.
think he's one of the biggest highlights of the palace invasion. I think that the crazy comparison between Meruem and Gon. Gon started the arc as a human dude. He was always idealistic. He just found Kite. He was going to find his father. He was so excited. Things were going well. And all of a sudden, thing after thing happened. And he descended further and further into darkness and literally became a monster as the arc progressed. The look in his eyes changed. Him fighting Pito was like the absolute depths of this depravity that he made a Nen promised to himself, sealing away his future. He was sacrificing his life just to destroy and take revenge. He became a monster. Meruem, he was born a monster. He was born all-powerful with everything, as opposed to Gon, who was looking for his father. And this person who was born with everything slowly became much more human. It was the story of Gon's descent to become a monster and Meruem's evolution to become a human. He died a human. He became, the most important thing to him was the most human connection. It was a connection of love as opposed to power and revenge. And this crazy comparison between the two of them it's mind-blowing on a philosophical level, on a psychological level. It's everything I want in anime. And then there's two of my favorite scenes are, the famous image of Gon as he sits there with like his watching Poof. He says, Poof, okay, Poof, heal Komugi, and I'm going to sit watching. And he watches like with his arm on his knee, like sitting on the floor in exactly the same pose as Meruem was sitting with his arm on his knee when he was talking to Netero. The same exact pose when he was telling Netero, I will not kill you. You are a human, it's true. I don't want to kill all humans. There are sometimes humans that deserve to live. I'm not someone that wants to wipe out humans because they're humans. I'm just wiping them out because they're inferior. You are a superior human. Therefore, I will let you live. And he's like, no, I'm fighting you to the death. I'm going to kill you. And he's like, no, I want to know my name and I will not kill you. And that whole fight is Meruem not doing damage to Netero. It's the craziest fight.
The best part was like when you're watching the fight, it's like, who's the good guy here?
Yes.
Like, Netero has to convince himself, like, I can't listen to this guy anymore. Otherwise, like, I'm already in too deep. I'm fighting this battle. I have to eliminate this insect. But at the end of the day, he's like, kind of like, because Netero's a dark character at the end of the day. And he started to kind of agree with Meruem.
Yeah,
he was so sad that he had to kill him.
The thing about that, and I agree with everything you said about Gon and about Meruem, and I'll get to the Netero part, but I do want to again emphasize that Poof is annoying, and fuck Poof.
Okay, shut up.
I preferred UP and Pito way over Poof. He's an annoying yandere simp, and I didn't like him. Now, everything else you said, I agree with, and I think the Netero thing, it was because Netero couldn't trust Meruem on his word, because this guy he believes might go and like destroy humanity. So even though what he's saying now makes sense to Netero, and he's second guessing himself, at the end of the day, he's like, I don't know if he's gonna change his mind tomorrow. He's such a threat that I have to kill him, even if I think that, you know.
You're looking at this logically from Netero's perspective, why he felt like it was important to actually kill Meruem, and I get that, but I don't think that was the full story. There was so much more there than just the basic why did he do it, because like it was painting a story of the human is doing the monstrous act and the monster was trying to do the more human compassionate act, and it's that painting, that crazy duality, that was the entire arc. I just sent on our group chat on Twitter. Look at these images.
Yeah, but I don't know why you're trying to say that I'm disagreeing with you or that I'm not getting the.
I'm not saying you're disagreeing. Yeah. I just don't think you noticed, and I don't blame you on first watching.
Notice you're being very condescending because
of course I'm being condescending.
I did notice, but I'm just saying I want to also weigh in on the aspects that I also appreciated. Man, this isn't just a Nux Taku show where you just monologue about how no one else.
Bro, we should start a new podcast, the Nux Taku Show.
Please go ahead, and then you can just talk about how no one except you understands anything.
Yes.
Anyways, I definitely like the fact that Meruem and the ants in general, they start off as these inhuman collective machines of destruction that are bound to by evolution. Basically, evolution has set them on a course to destroy humans. However, it turns out that as they absorb humans, they absorb aspects of human individuality and personality, and that eventually leads them to start fighting each other, just like humans do, to start doing things that they never would have done otherwise, and Meruem eventually becomes human in many ways. And I think that is a brilliant aspect, philosophical and psychological aspect of this arc, for sure.
Hell yeah, that's what I'm saying. Look at the group chat so you can see these images. I'm not saying, look, on first glance, I'm not slighting you.
So what did Animac give the arc?
8.5.
8.5. You gave it a 10. I guess I'll give it a... It's close to perfect. So I'm going to give it a
9.97.
9.69.
Bro, I love you.
I got you.
Anyway, can you look at the group chat? Just look at these images. It's cool. I'm just saying for like your personal enjoyment.
No, I am. I'm looking at the comparison between Gon and Meruem and their evolution or devolution.
Yeah, isn't that like brilliant? I think, and that's only like, that's one of the central themes, of course, but there are so many other characters that undergo crazy changes and crazy like philosophical. Yeah, and there's Gyro, bro.
There are there are moments that I would rank 100% 10 out of 10 in this arc. The whole what happens to Meruem at the end, that part with Komugi, the Netero fight, the Reina reunion, the Gon fight with Pito, like all of that I would give 10 out of 10. It's just that overall, when you think of these like 60 episodes, I can't say that they were all as great as these episodes.
I mean, I agree. That's why I gave it a 9.69, because it wasn't perfect, but it was close to.
You have the right to an opinion. I don't care if you don't like the arc. And I don't care if you think it's average. Like, honestly, I'm just saying. I'm just saying why I really like the arc.
No, that's fair. That's fair.
Even beyond, like, obviously, like, the psychological impact of Meruem and Netero and everything going on with that fight was great, but, like, the actual fight itself, the impact it had, and the, I guess, the choreography or whatever was beautiful. Like, every single, like, I guess, blow that... Fucking, I don't even know how to explain this. Netero's Nen used was unbelievable. And the fact that Meruem wasn't even fucking trying.
And I think that also, like, we got Netero's backstory, like, in middle of that fight, pretty much. And his backstory is the ultimate Chad story.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
The arc altogether, I was literally on edge for 60 episodes. Anyway, next arc, the Erection Arc. Not to be confused with the Election Arc. That is the improper way to pronounce it. Much like Furume today to give me stupid Zudo. Erection it's a wonderful thing. It's a wonderful thing. It's created many children. And I have to say that this arc is pretty freaking awesome, man. It's so good. It's so good. And coming off the finale of the Chimera Ant Arc, everyone's like, bruh, shaken to their cores. And then it's like, wait a second. How are we going to follow up? Oh, we need a new chairman for the Hunter exam. Okay. For the Hunter Association. All right. Okay. All right. All right. Okay. Jing walks in. The guy we were chasing the whole season, the whole story so far, just walks into the room, comes up with this crazy, crazy diplomatic way to pick a new leader with like, oh, we need certain amount of votes and we need this. And then they took a raffle and he won because he rigged the whole thing. Like, bruh, what? Oh my God. This guy's amazing.
Did anyone else not really care about the election itself? Like, because I did not care about it.
I thought it was pretty cool altogether. So now, Harrison Hilton, the rat of the Zodiacs of the Hunter Association.
So the thing is,
Harrison is in my top 20 anime characters of all time. He's my second favorite character in all of Hunter x Hunter. I relate to this man on a spiritual level. And
okay, so let me explain this. Let me get your explanation here. Because first of all, I do appreciate that with the Zodiacs we get some waifus, because Hunter x Hunter needed more waifus. Rooster Girl, beautiful. Snake Girl, hot. Phone Girl, rabbit, I guess, kind of annoying with the phone. But Dog Girl, wholesome. So yeah, I did appreciate that aspect of it. But can you explain to me why, if Jing is so powerful, and if these Zodiacs are so powerful, why they were not fighting the Chimera Ants, who were an existential threat to humanity? I couldn't get over it.
I don't think that they're... First of all, I don't want to say that they're not powerful. But if you really think about it, when Hisoka first met a bunch of them, Hisoka was like, okay, this guy's power level is 80. This guy's power level is 90. Ooh, Dragon, I'd give him a 95. And then Illumi's like, what the hell is this crazy ranking you're giving him? What are these numbers? And he's like, this is the Hisoka rating. It's like, oh my god, this guy's so cool.
Well, Hisoka's pretty big brain if you ask me.
Dude, I love Hisoka. What a legend.
Yeah,
Is it like 95? What is this, out of 100? Because giving an arbitrary rating of 95, we don't know if that's like really good or really bad. And then it's like, what would you rate yourself? 120. And it's like, okay, all right, okay, it's not out of 100, all right. But if you think about it, like, they wouldn't stand a chance against the ants. They're not the strongest hunters. They're just the ones that were picked for the spot.
So you don't think Jing is...
Jing is strong, but I don't think he was contactable.
Like, I don't think Jing was stronger than Netero.
So yeah, Netero says that Jing is in the 5 strongest hunters, I think.
Okay. I think the series would have been better if Jing wasn't even a part of it.
Man, Jing not only is he a terrible father, but he's also a terrible, like, hunter.
He's
like,
not a good person.
No,
you're supposed to like be helping humanity, and he doesn't give a fuck. He's never around, doesn't care about his son. Like, yeah, he was to me frustrating character for sure.
Dude, when Leorio punched the shit out of Jing, that was amazing. Did he like teleport punch it?
Yeah, I
don't
love
remember,
that.
But
yeah, I mean, not only did we love it, like everyone loved it there.
Yeah.
So I respected that. Like every hunter was like, yes, finally Jing gets punched in the face.
So my thing with the arc is I thought that the Aluka side story was not great.
It wasn't. I do like the power of something or the thing, right? And I do like the aspect of like Illumi and Hisoka teaming up.
Yeah.
And then when Hisoka's like, what should I do? Should I murder?
And then Illumi goes crazy.
He's like, should I murder Killua to piss off Illumi, or should I murder Gon to piss off Killua? I don't know which one I should do. Like, I thought that was hilarious.
Yeah.
Can you explain to me, like, I like Pariston too. I like his whole...
I love Pariston! He's so good! Oh, what a troll!
Yeah, I like his political scheming. I like his Machiavellianism. He's a
Bro, he wins and then gives it away!
Yeah, so can you explain to me what his whole point was with then winning and then giving it away to the person that was trying to beat him anyway?
He's a troll, bro. That's why I like him so much. It was literally to troll them. His end goal was the trolling. I made a whole video at some point on the fun in Hunter x Hunter and how you see some of the people that are happiest with themselves are people like Pariston and Hisoka that are literally just in their end goal is what they're doing the whole time. Trolling was Pariston's goal. So he accomplished what he was actually trying for.
But to me, it felt the whole time like Pariston had some other plan in mind.
He does.
Larger plan.
He does, and it's revealed in the manga. But so the manga has like 3 mini arcs, I'd say. After 2 mini arcs, and then like one big, fat, giant, dark ass, goddamn, mother flipping bastard of an arc. So that said,
yeah. So I do want to learn more about Pariston.
One of them is about
we didn't really get that much of him, so I'd like to learn more, and I'll definitely have to read the manga because I also want to know more about Crollo.
He's the antithesis of Jing. That's why it's interesting. He's like the opposite person that Jing is.
So that would make him a nice, caring person.
He's not the opposite in every personality trait.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Jing is really like, on the one hand, I am interested in his like mission and how that reveal at the end was like, yo, that's cool. That's cool.
What was the real reveal at the end? I could not remember.
The Dark Continent, bro.
Yeah. The fact that the whole world was just a fraction of the actual world.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, so that makes sense why the manga arc's called the Dark Continent arc, no?
Yes.
Yeah, I haven't read any of it.
That was at the very end, but still, like, Jing, it's like, what the fuck? Like, what is his? Why? We got that whole thing where like, oh, I was happy when we made this plan with these people, and then we found this artifact and stuff. It's like, bro, you abandon your son for this? You like?
He's a dick.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's a dick, and I don't.
Yes, I agree.
I wish like we knew about Gon's father.
He's a pretty
but,
badass dick.
I honestly feel like the story could have been better if Jing wasn't involved, and because like obviously like the motivation for Gon leaving was like to find his father, and it became so much more than that, and no one likes the story for that reason. Like that motivation literally just goes in like the kind of to the side for the majority.
Well, I mean,
and then the ending when he finally meets his father was so underwhelming.
This isn't really a spoiler, so I'm gonna say it. We don't see Gon in the manga since the anime ends.
So Gon's story is done.
We don't know.
People
I'm sure
saying.
he'll come back.
I'm sure he'll come back, but
Well, yeah, if Hunter x Hunter ends up being like One Piece, which clearly it's not getting made, so then it won't. But if it was that length, then they open up the world so that they can do whatever they want, and they have all these characters that they built up that they can go in different directions. Like I wouldn't have thought that was possible until Yorknew, and when we suddenly switched focus to Kurapika, and yet it was so awesome. That made me realize like we don't necessarily need to focus on Gon and Killua.
Well, Kurapika is pretty damn important in the current arc.
Oh yeah,
good.
that's right. What's it called? Gon lost his Nen, and that was I love Nen so much. The fact that he was able to sacrifice that in order to go was that how he went to adult Gon form?
Yeah, he sacrificed everything. He sacrificed his Nen, and he sacrificed his life, and he sacrificed literally everything.
And he gets it back though when he's healed by Aluka, right? Or
He does not get his Nen back.
I think that's unclear.
I think he does. Doesn't he use Nen to climb the tower a bit? Like the tree, I mean, not the tower.
I do not know. I don't know.
People in chat are saying he does not.
I thought he was using Nen to like run up the tree, so that was all just physical strength.
He's physically buff. He's a Chad.
So what do you guys think about the election arc overall, though?
9 out of 10.
Yeah, that's...
Really?
It's my third favorite anime arc.
What? Okay, I need to I can't even give this a rating because I don't really remember it. I just remember the ending.
No, I'm just saying that for me it's a 9, and I know that there's personal bias in there because I don't even like the Aluka part that much. I think it's pretty meh. I thought that Goto versus Hisoka was a cool fight. The coins versus Bungee Gum, which has the properties of rubber and gum. But my love for Pariston is so massive. I would have to give it a 9 out of 10.
Yeah, I would give it like a 7.5. Definitely not.
Yeah. I guess I'll give it a 7.5, which is the first one that's more exact for me. I know it's not like
at least give it a 7.69.
No, but I can't. My brain rating system needs to take in all the facts, and I cannot recall all the facts for this election arc.
And you're saying it does not deserve the extra 0.19 points.
It does not. Based off of my memory, it does not.
And so yeah, I didn't really care too much about who's going to be the next leader. So that was kind of weird. And the whole Aluka thing, we didn't really get to care about Aluka. It was like, it just happened out of nowhere. It's like, oh, Aluka exists, and we're like, okay. And like, obviously Killua cares, but I didn't necessarily care as much as him because we just met this character.
Well, that's it and done. That is all the anime arcs. And if I had to give arcs to the manga, I'll give ranks to the manga. I'm not going to tell you what happens in them. The Dark Continent arc is the next arc. I think it was pretty good. I don't think it was as good as most of them. Maybe I'd give it a 7.5. And then there was the Heaven's Arena Part 2. I won't say the actual title because spoiler reasons. And that's a 9 out of 10. 9.5 out of 10 maybe. And then there's the Succession War, which so far it's looking like a 9. But I think that when it actually gets completed, it will be a 9.5. Bro, Succession War is so crazy. Man, goddamn. If only it wasn't a novel, but it was a manga, it would be so great. Like, imagine the Succession War, but with images. God. Anywho, that is the ranking. Oh, so overall ranking of the series. Briggs.
Well, I can't remember all my numbers, but
Don't give it a freaking...
No, I gotta add them all up and divide. That's how you do it.
Oh my god.
And I'm pretty sure it comes out to an 8.42, roughly. 420.
Yeah, I didn't.
You'd give it an 8.42, really?
Apparently.
Okay, so I'm not gonna go into this math stuff. I'll just give it an overall score of 8.5.
Right, I'd give it a 10.
Like, I don't know what my percentages work out to, but I'd give it 8.5.
Either. I give it a 10.
Whatever. Okay, overall, I'll give it an 8.69.
Love you, bro. I would give it a 10 out of 10, I think, overall. Yeah.
Yeah, at the end of the day, you gotta remember the Chimera Ant Arc is like 60% of the show, and if I gave that a 9.69,
no, it's not 60% of the show. It's
like half? I don't know.
No, it's like a third, less.
All right. Well,
no,
it's still a huge arc.
The manga might be less, but it's still, I think it's...
Oh, it's more than a third. You're right.
Yeah,
it's over a third.
The arcs that I really like, Phantom Troupe, Chimera Ant, and Hunter Exam, make up the majority of the series. Like, I'd probably give that close to a 9. Like, I was just joking around with 8.69. I'd probably give it like an 8.99. I'm kidding. Yeah, no, Hunter x Hunter is amazing. I highly recommend it.
10 out of 10. It's One Piece tier.
But I would recommend not overhyping it to people, because not every arc is as good as every other, and you might disappoint people.
I mean, it's no One Piece.
Like, to me, the first part of JoJo's was more enjoyable than the Hunter exam.
I don't agree with that take, but okay, to each their own.
Yeah, but it could be because the first arc of JoJo's to me like was underhyped as, oh, you have to get through this shit, and then I actually thought it was good. Whereas with Hunter exam, people were like, this is one of the greatest anime of all time, and I didn't love that arc, so then I was like, eh.
Well, I went into it with very little expectations altogether. Like, I didn't have low, I just didn't really know anything about it when I started watching.
Well, maybe give other people that courtesy, bro.
No, I don't believe in that. I believe in overhyping everything until you watch it, and then I win because you watched it. All right, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed. We ranked all the arcs. It was fun. Meruem's awesome. Bit of a simp, but awesome nonetheless. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Link to the Rant Cafe Anime Podcast channel in the description. Feel free to check it out. We do this kind of stuff with all sorts of topics. I just was curious if you wanted me to revive this old series. Long format, breaking down anime titans and ranking them by arc. I have a lot of fun making them. Let me know if you're interested. I could do Naruto Shippuden with Swag Kage, One Piece post time skip with Tekking, or honestly any other anime you're interested in me doing. I could do Bleach, Dragon Ball, and honestly anything. So let me know in the comments if you're interested in this series continuing. Share this with a friend. Tell me in the comments who has the superior taste, me or Animac, or Briggs, who didn't really remember most of it, but me or Animac. Have yourselves the most wonderful evening. Remember to leave a like and subscribe, but most importantly, remember to stay weird, fam.